Stockbit is a place where you can learn, you can discuss, you can get information about stocks in Malaysia, right? It's also a place where you can analyze. It is actually originated from Indonesia, but I think now we are trying to really move the best features of Stockbit from Indonesia to Malaysia. Things such as stock screeners and the ability to open an account or even trade from Stockbit will soon be there. So it's a good place to mingle and get a healthy discussion from Bursa and KLSC actually. How we are different is that we feel like the new millennials, the new generation of traders, they are all in social media. So Stockbit, it caters to the social media technology, right? So you can follow people, you can block people, you can report an abuse, and there is always a profile to have each user. So you know which user you can follow, which user are credible, and a lot of the controls are at the user's hand. Yeah, you can check it out.
Hello and good evening, everybody. Oh, why my face is so big? Oh.
Hey.
Hi, Patrick.
Hi, Terence. What a way to start. Yeah, so, hey, hi, everyone. Thank you for joining us today evening. What day is it? It's a Wednesday.
Yeah, it's a Wednesday. It's great to have you here. And it's also great to have the management team of UMediC, Eric, Lim, and Sze Hui here with us. But before we begin our session, let's just watch their corporate video first.
Sounds good.
All right.
UMediC are a renowned distributor and manufacturer of medical devices and consumables, playing a major role in advanced integrated healthcare supply chain. UMedic's new headquarters is strategically located in Batu Kawan Industrial Park, the Silicon Valley of the East, that is home to many top-notch factories and manufacturing plants, well known for their strong and vibrant electrical and electronics E&E ecosystem. Our extensive distribution channels are represented by our branches spreading all across the nation to better serve our customers that range from private and public hospitals to other healthcare service providers and non-hospitals. Incorporated in year 2002, the company's business model evolved with market demands and opportunities and gradually embraced the prospect of becoming a major distributor for a wide range of medical products. We have also begun to be involved in R&D and manufacturing of our own products, which bears our house brand, namely the HydroX prefilled humidifier, prefilled nebulizer and AirdroX spacer in the pipeline. One of our core competencies is our ability to produce world-class products of our own through seamless technology integration and heavy investments in autogeneous R&D, which incorporates the scope of design, development, and manufacturing. UMedic's manufacturing plant is equipped with the aid of the most advanced technology to cater to the development and manufacturing of our own medical consumables. We pride ourselves with fully automated production lines that features cobot arm in the process of bottle forming and handling, designed to share the same workspace with humans, yet capable of switching tasks easily. We have invested in several state-of-the-art machines, such as the BWT Lupo system for water purification and the Fedagari steam air sterilizer for counter-pressure sterilization. We are in observation of the highest hygiene standards, backed by our ISO Class 7 cleanroom and HEPA filter air purification, which are in compliance with all the stringent local and international regulatory requirements. This has become the cornerstone that facilitated us to undertake greater production activities. Over 2 decades of cumulated market presence, our impressive track record in market penetration, product quality, and outstanding customer service have become the main contributing factors that kept our standards high and business thriving. We adhere to stringent international quality standards and certifications to maintain the quality, safety, and performance of medical devices. Our vast distribution network, excellent marketing aptitude, and consistency have led to the upsurge of strategic brand partnerships and being ultimately recognized with numerous awards. Going into the future, the company is planning to establish another manufacturing plant. On top of that, 2 new grand showrooms beyond Penang to improve its customer outreach. We have made it our mission to be the trusted and preferred partner for all our stakeholders, which include our investors, suppliers, customers, employees, and the communities. Incongruent with its ambition to ultimately improve the quality of human life, UMediC proudly stands by its motto to bring excellence in healthcare for the community and mankind.
All right, welcome back. And yeah, that was a great corporate video. So let's welcome Eric Lim and Sze Hui, the management team joining us this evening to present about UMediC. Hello, Eric. Hello, Sze Hui. How are you feeling tonight?
Hey.
Hi, good evening. How is everyone?
Hi, good evening.
Thanks for taking the time to join us today evening. No doubt, a very busy period. You guys just listed a little bit over 2 weeks ago. So I'm sure it's been a very hectic. I don't know, probably 6 weeks, 7 weeks for you guys, including the roadshow period. So thanks for taking the time to join us today.
Thank you. We're excited to be here.
Okay.
Right.
So without any further ado, I will hand the floor over to Mr. Eric, who will conduct the presentation. And yeah, we'll have the Q&A after that. So if you all have any questions, drop them down in the comment section and we will address them after the session. Thank you. All right, so Mr. Eric, the floor is yours.
Okay. Okay. Good evening. Okay. I'm Mr. Eric Lim Taw Seong. I'm the CEO and the Executive Director of UMediC Group. Okay. I will start my sharing by going back to our core, which is 20 years back. And the purpose of everything we do is just to bring the excellence in healthcare. And then we stand by our mission and vision strongly, which are to be the trusted and preferred partner for all our stakeholders and integrated to provide an integrated healthcare supply chain with advanced technology. Company overview. UMC has 6 wholly owned subsidiaries, which including Actimate Healthcare Sdn Bhd, UMediC Sdn Bhd, UMediC Health Sdn Bhd, and UMediC Healthcare Sdn Bhd. These 4 companies are in charge for the marketing and distribution of medical devices, and UWHC Sdn Bhd is a holding of intellectual property rights, and UWHM Sdn Bhd is a developing and manufacturing and marketing of medical devices. Okay, our board of directors, we have Dato' Ng Chai Eng, our non-independent, non-executive chairman. He is the co-founder of the group as an investor and not involved in the business operations. And he currently sits on the board of UWC Berhad and as an executive director and group CEO. And we have Mr. Lau Chi Kiong, our non-independent, non-executive director. He is also one of the co-founders of the group as an investor and not involved in the business operations. And he currently sits on the board of UWC Berhad as executive director and group COO, and myself as executive director and CEO. And we have Dr. Pakrisamy Bhaskaran as our independent executive directors. Okay, and then we have Ms. Tan Chai Swan as our independent non-executive directors. and Mr. Sze Hui as our independent non-executive directors. And we have Martin Ng Chin Liang as our alternate director to Dato Ng Chai Eng. Okay, this is our management teams. From the left, we have Ms. Ng as our financial controllers, and we have Ms. Ng Sze Hui as our legal and corporate advisors, and we have Mr. Kong as our sales VP, who in charge for the Central and East Coast region of Peninsular Malaysia. And we have Mr. Lee Kai, our sales VP, in charge for the Northern and Sabah stage, and Mr. Ng Ching Ek, our manufacturing VP, and Ms. Lim Swat Kim as our sales VP, in charge for the Southern and Sarawak stage. Business overview. Okay, our business model, actually we have divided into two segments. One is a marketing and distribution segment, and another one is a manufacturing segment. And then for the marketing and distribution segments, we represent global well-known brands such as Merit Medical, Philips Healthcare, GE Healthcare, Minray, and Care Visions. And then we represent their patient monitors, MRI compatible patient monitors, defibrillators, AED, GA machine, ventilators, ultrasound machine, and many more. And then for our manufacturing segment, we developing, manufacturing, and marketing of medical consumables. We have successfully produced our own products such as prefilled humidifier and inhaler spacers. And then our customers are including the private and public hospitals, other healthcare service provider, and non-medical business entities. Okay, our principal place of business are located at Batu Kawan and Pulau Pinang. And then we have the total built-up area of 48,487.4 square feet. And then the main purpose of this plant is used for manufacturing and storage. And then by looking at the geography maps of Malaysia, we have at least one sales representative located at every single stage to cover all the customers located in the particular stage. And then we have our sales office located, one in Kuala Lumpur, another one in Johor Bahru. Okay, our key customer including private and public hospitals, others healthcare service provider, and non-medical business entities. Okay, our technology, in order to produce our in-house prefilled humidifiers, we have our field seal and leak test machines, and then we have adapter automated assembly line, and then we have BWT Osmotron Flow and BWT Lopo, which is our water treatment system, and we have Federgali steam air sterilizers and Omron collaborative robot system. And then our key stage of manufacturing segments, we have to go through the water treatments, and then followed by blow field seals process, and then sterilizations, quality check, and then the last process will be the labeling and the packaging. And then we have our in-house R&D, in-house QC, in-house microbiology and chemical lab. Okay, and then this is our first manufactured product. We call it HydroX prefilled humidifiers. And then it is used to humidify the respiratory gas for the patients. And then it's mostly used in the oxygen therapy, such as oxygen concentrator, gas cylinder, and wall gas outlet, together with mask, nasal cannula in home care, hospitals, and any healthcare facilities. And then for these prefilled humidifiers, we aggregated with the ISO 9001, ISO 1345, and ISO 1345-2016. And then we received the GDPMD certification and HALA certifications. And then this is our second manufactured products. We call it AirdroX Spacer Antistatic Wave Inhaler Chambers. And then this product is help patients to inhale the MDI medication correctly. And then is widely used in pediatric and adult patient category. And then for these items, we won the Gold Award under Best Innovation Award category, Malaysia Technology Expo 2020 Special Editions. And then in order to involve in this healthcare industry, and then healthcare industry is also a highly regulated industry, we need to obtain the GDPMD, MDA, ISO 9001, ISO 13485, HALA certificate, and CE certificate. Okay, and then for our inhaler spacers, we are successfully gained the patented design in Malaysia, Indonesia, and Europe countries. Our distributorship. So we are, for our distribution segments, we represent global well-known brands, including Philips Healthcare, and then we have the 13 years of relationship with Philips, and then we are represent their patient monitor, defibrillators, AED, and ultrasound machines. And then for GE, we are represent their maternal and infant care products. Minray, we represent their ventilators, and then we have Merit Medical to distribute their critical care consumable items, and then we have Care Visions, we are represent their Sun Life mechanical CPR chest compressors, and then the last one is Imetes, we represent their Dameka branded GA machine. And then this is some photo of our most popular products. We have patient monitors, MRI compatible patient monitors from Philips Healthcare, and then we represent Minray ventilators, and then we represent Philips ultrasound machines, and Philips defibrillators and AEDs. Okay, sudden cardiac arrest can be happen at any age, anywhere, and any times. Therefore, our Minister of Health, Khairi, had made an announcement of compulsory to have AED in all government office and public facilities. And with this announcement, it actually opened the business opportunity for our AED business. And then we continue with our distribution products. We represent GE maternal and infant care products, and then so we have the phototherapy light, we have the infant resuscitation unit, we have the infant warmer, and then we have UMC branded furniture, stretcher, like medication cart, and then electrical type of bed. And then for Merit Medical, we represent their medical consumables such as multiple type of needles and transducer kit. And the last one is Sun Life, the mechanical CPR chest compressors. Okay, in order to maintain and boost up our sales, our teams are actively participating in many national and international medical trade shows in Malaysia and overseas. This is some photo of our sales activities, which including our sales team have actively participated in a lot of medical trade shows in Malaysia and overseas. And then we also organize a lot of AED trainings for public and school. Okay, these are some products of our, during we conduct the product trainings. Actually, product trainings for end user is very important. This is to make sure all of the users are well trained and able to handle the machine while they treat the patient using our medical devices. Financial highlight. Okay, by looking at revenues, our revenue is actually in uptrends from financial year end from 2019 until financial year end 2021 for both manufacturing and distribution segments. And then our revenue increased for both manufacturing and distribution for 9 months of financial year end 2022. And then the total revenue increased by Ringgit Malaysia 9.21 million from Ringgit Malaysia 34.12 million in full year full financial year 2021 to Ringgit Malaysia 43.33 million in 9 months of financial year end 2022. So, okay, this is our adjusted PAT, which excluding the listing expenses. So, from 2019 to 2020, actually, is no adjustment during the financial year end under review. And then in financial end 2021, we have actually adjusted the expenses of Ringgit Malaysia 520,000. And then for 9 months of financial end 2022, actually we increased 208,000 of listing expenses as compared with FPE 2022. And then we have 7.045 million in 9 months of financial end 2022. Okay, this is our financial positions. So our current ratio increased from 1.23 times in financial end 2021 to 1.63 times in FPE 2022. And then our revenue with CAGR rate over the periods of financial end 2019 to 2021 was 44.13%. And then our PAT with CAGR rate over the periods of financial end 2019 to 2021 was 96.39%. And our ROE for the financial end 2021 was 32.32%. So revenue by geographical locations. So local market is the main contributor, and the contribution revenue increased by Ringgit Malaysia 8.05 million from Ringgit Malaysia 28.56 million to Ringgit Malaysia 36.61 million in 9 months financial end 2022, which means the revenue from the local market already exceed the revenue in full years financial year end 2021 in 9 months. So while overseas market increased by 0.67 million from Ringgit Malaysia 3.42 million in financial end 2021 to Ringgit Malaysia 4.09 million in 9 months of financial year end 2022. And then the revenue from overseas market also exceeded the revenue in full years FYE 2021 in 9 months. For revenue by business segments, our group revenue increased by Ringgit Malaysia 9.21 million from Ringgit Malaysia 34.12 million to Ringgit Malaysia 43.33 million in Q3 2022, which means the revenue from the local market already exceed the revenue in 9 month times, and an increase in revenue from marketing and distribution segments by Ringgit Malaysia 9.16 million from Ringgit Malaysia 23.93 million in full FYE 2021 to Ringgit Malaysia 33.09 million in 9 months of FYE 2022. Our key investment highlight. Okay, we have established track record and reputations with our 20 years of accumulated market presence, and we have the capability to market various types of medical devices and consumables from our principals. And then we have received various awards from our principal in 2015, 2016, and 2020. And then we have a wide geographical coverage. We have at least one sales representative in every stage. We're able to provide better not only the sales coverage, but as well as our after-sales service. We provide unlimited breakdown call and the response times in 2 hours by phone and within 48 hours on site repair. If we still cannot settle the issue, a loaner unit will be sending to our customer to reduce the downtimes. And then our teams, we have the ability to develop and produce high quality products by our in-house R&D teams. Our sales teams able to send the sample for end user for trial and get the feedback from the end user at any times. The feedback is very important for us to improve our quality and design. And last, we have an experienced and capable management team. A combination of experience and knowledge of the group key senior management team will drive our group to continue grow in the medical devices industry. Industrial prospect. So Malaysia export of medical devices expanded by 25.5% from 2019 to 2020. We are also part of the exporter, and we export our prefilled humidifiers to over 30 countries, including APEC country and Middle East MENA regions. And we are seeing an increasing awareness of using disposable medical products to reduce the risk of cross-contamination, especially after the pandemic. With this, actually will drive the demands of for the medical consumable items, especially for our prefilled humidifiers. As long as the patient need the oxygen therapy, they will need to use our prefilled humidifiers. And then previously, our prefilled humidifiers are mainly focused in critical care area, but after changing the SOP, our prefilled humidifier has already been used in non-critical care area, such as normal wards. And then the growth forecast of the medical device in Malaysia is with the CAGR rate of 14%, with the market value of ringgit Malaysia 19.5p. And then now we are reached endemic stage. All the new hospital project or building expansions resume back to normal, and this will drive the demands of medical devices. Growth drivers. Continuous investments from domestic and foreign will drive the medical devices industry in Malaysia during the forecast periods from 2022 to 2026. And governments allocate budgets for the upgrading and expansions of existing hospitals and construction of new hospitals. This development of new and upgrading existing hospital will drive the demand for medical devices. And hospital will continue to upgrade and purchase medical devices to provide the adequate care for their patients. And this indicate potential increase in demand for healthcare service. And then Malaysia has been awarded the Health and Medical Tourism Destinations of Year titles for 4 years. And border reopened beginning 1st of April 2022. And then the demand from medical tourists is expected to increase in medium and long terms. And government support for the medical devices industry, which include government will allocate higher budgets for Ministry of Health to purchase medical devices for hospital annually. And government is improving the medical industry through the incentive for investment and tax allowance for local and overseas manufacturers will drive the growth of investment in medical devices industry. Our future plan and strategy. So first, we will construct a new factory buildings with built-up area of approximately 35,000 square feet, which comprise of 30,000 square feet of production floor and 5,000 square feet of storage area, which we target to double up our production line. And second, we will strengthen our domestic presence through the setting up of 2 sales and marketing office, one in KL, another one in JB, and it will serve as a showroom for all our products. And then for your information, majority of the HQ for the group hospital are located in KL. And with this setup, it eases our customer to visit our showroom at any times and without traveling to Penang. And then third, we will expand our manufacturing segment. We will continue to develop and commercialize more and more products under our own brands. And we are targeted to commercialize several new products in the next 2 years. And last, we are intent to expand our product portfolio by adding new product from our existing principle. And at the same time, we also intend to develop the new brand of distribution business. Okay, this is the photo to show you we are going to develop and actually we are developed and we are going to commercialize soon for this new product. We call it Sterile Water for Inhalations. And then this is our upcoming consumable items. And then it's used for heated nebulizer, incubator, and ventilators. And this is a product for patients who need respiratory therapy, such as high-flow nasal cannula oxygen therapy. And this provides supply, these items provide the supply of sterile water to humidification chamber, which is under passive humidification system. And then this is to show you a photo a little bit about high-flow oxygen therapies. So high-flow nasal oxygen therapy is type of non-invasive ventilation in the management of acute hypoxemic respiratory failure. Next. Okay, for this photo is to show you that this product, right, is high-flow nasal cannula oxygen therapy, which is a strategy providing the good comfort through warm and humidified gas flow delivered together with nasal prong. And then this high flow oxygen therapy, we call it HFNC, is for to use in people in respiratory distress who still have low oxygen level despite trying traditional oxygen therapy. And for this oxygen therapy is mainly used for adult and neonatal patients. Okay, this is our upcoming new products. We have 4. One is sterile water inhalations, like what I mentioned just now, and then followed by the prefilled nebulizer, digital oxygen flow meter, and humidifier humidity sensors, which are expected to be commercialized in the next 2 years. So this is some info about the medical industry category. So okay, actually, healthcare industry is a very potential market in futures. And then this chart is to show you that actually medical industry, we have 4 main categories. One is medical equipment, another one is medical consumables, and lab equipment, lab consumable, and pharmaceutical supply. So currently, we are mainly focused in medical equipment and medical consumables. Okay, for laboratory business by segments, actually we divided into 4. One, we call it histopathology, cytology, microbiology, and hematology. And then for labs business, right, we are divided into 2 main categories. One is laboratory equipment, and another one is the laboratory consumable items. So this is to show you that in medical industry, right, we still have a lot of potential the segment which we can look into it. So okay, I will end my presentations by sharing with the photo of my team members. Thank you.
All right. Thanks a lot, Eric, for the fantastic presentation. I think we actually covered quite a lot, and I think that actually shows in the questions. We've actually got, I think, almost 30 questions from the audience today. So thank you very much for running us through the business. Maybe, Terence, if you just take down the slides, then we go into just us. And I think without any further ado, in the interest of covering all the audience questions today, I think let's just jump right into it, right? And I think, Eric, Sze Hui, I think the first question, there's actually 2 questions. One from Yelena Ling. asking about the connection between UWC and UMC, aside from the spelling of the name. Maybe if I open the floor and let you guys jump right into it.
Yeah.
Okay, actually, UWC and UMC is two different company and lead by different management teams. So of course, Dato Ng and Mr. Lau is non-executive directors, and then they are not. I mean, they are co-founders, and they are never involved in the operations of UMC. So the whole operations of UMC are led by myself, and then of course.
Yeah, just to basically add on what Eric just mentioned, right? Technically, yes, the co-founders of UWC and UMC are the same. What we can say about UMC is that we obviously inherit because it's the brainchild of the founders of UWC. So we obviously inherit the spirit of UWC in terms of our growth trajectory. And obviously, we also hope that one day we can be like UWC and be UWC 2.0. Just to give you like what we get from the co-founder from UWC, those are usually the strategic advice from the founders of UWC. In terms of operation, we have different. We are basically two different teams of management.
Okay, cool. Thanks a lot. And there's actually just one other question from Rondi, also just tied to UWC. Maybe Terence, if you could just help me. So the question is basically, since you're already doing manufacturing plus UWC's know-how in the space, would you consider becoming an EMS player for medical equipment like Supercomnet's Supercomal entity?
To be honest, anything that can help our companies, we will consider.
Okay, cool. All right, thanks a lot for that. I guess we've addressed the UWC questions. Terence, maybe I pass it over to you.
All right, thank you, Sachi. Okay, let's just move on. There's a question here asking about what is your benefit? Ricardo Milos, yeah. He asks, in terms of the therapeutic effect and cost effectiveness, what is the advantage of using your HydroX? And, since there are many other alternatives.
These are asking about the function, I guess, function of HydroX, right?
Yeah, the advantages of using it.
Yeah, the medical function of using it, I think Eric will be able to explain that more in details for us.
So, okay, our product, we call it prefilled humidifiers. Prefilled is something like it already filled with waters. Because in hospital, right, there are still some of hospital, they are still continue to use the reusable types. So when we call it reusable, that means hospital, they need to, to have a team every morning they have to collect all the reusable humidifiers, and then they have to open it and then change the water, clean the humidifier, and then attach back to the flow meters. But with our prefilled humidifier, right, it's actually clean, and then we can prevent, the cross contaminations while they, use what I call our prefilled humidifier. And then second things is our prefilled humidifiers, right? We are recommended for single patient use. So it's clean and can prevent the cross contamination, and then at the same time, they save the labor cost. They no need to spare a team, every morning to collect and clean it.
In terms of replacement and alternative for humidifiers, I think the answer really to that, it's our counterparts for these similar products are usually the European and the American players. So as what Eric mentioned, our advantage would obviously come down to our cost. Our price is obviously 30-40% cheaper. However, we have the similar or almost the same quality and certification certification for our prefilled humidifier. So that's a really strong advantage whenever our customer come to us.
All right. Okay. Thank you so much, and I hope, Ricardo, that answers your question. Okay, moving on to the next one. There is another question asking about your sales contribution from Malaysia. Let me just pull it up. Yeah, okay, another one from Yelena over here. In terms of sales contribution, local Malaysia sales seems to be growing faster than overseas. Is this an intentional focus of the management?
Okay. For the contribution, of course, for local, Malaysia is growing faster is because of actually we involved in distribution business since 20 years back, and then for our manufacturing, right, we started to invest, to produce this product is in 2020. I mean, after 10 years of, after we start our distribution business, this is because we need to collect the feedback and then the information and some idea from the users. So therefore, we start our manufacturing segment in 10 years after our setting up our new companies. And then because in medical industry is a highly regulated industry. So before we can distribute our prefilled humidifiers to overseas, right, we need to appoint a local distributors in the particular country, and then we need their help to register our products. And then the registration is actually will take about 1.5 to 2 years times. And then it's something like we continue to do this kind of exercise to register our product in every single country. And then once we are successfully registered under the medical authorities in the particular countries, then it's the time for us to harvest. That means our sales will automatically come in.
Okay, all right. Thank you. Understood. While we're on this topic, I'll ask one more question. Can you share a little bit about what kind of market share you have in Malaysia right now?
Market share for overall medical devices, or
yeah, I mean,
I think the medical industry
Yeah,
in
medical
general, based on the IMR, we are only account for 0.2% of the medical device industry in Malaysia in year 2021. And what Eric shared just now, you can see that the market is really huge. We are talking about medical device industry. We are talking about not just medical device, but also medical equipment, but also medical consumable, which we are focused in for our manufacturing segment. And we are also looking into, obviously, always grow our business into other segment of medical device industry, like the lab equipment, lab consumable, and many more to come. And under this segment, it's really under this category, there are still many subcategories. So when we talk about market shares, we are talking about a very, very huge market for us to grab. And also when we talk about our manufacturing segment, we exported to more than 30 countries. And just to share with you, we are not even surpassing 1% of the market shares. And this is only for one product, which is prefilled humidifiers.
Okay, wow. Means, yeah, very, very impressive and a lot of room to grow still. While we're on this topic, there's another question from Yaremia, where he's asking about the process for entering new markets. Would you need to get certifications, regulatory approval, and is this going to be a challenge for your own manufactured products?
Yeah, so as you can see, our manufacturing segment, we have been vigorously participating in a lot of basically trade show to enter into new markets. Just to give you a flavor, entering into new markets, usually it takes 1 to 3 years for approval process, because we are talking about medical products. This usually will be governed by the respective MOH, Ministry of Health, of each country. So every country would have to go through, we would have to go through different process. And the fact that we have been trying very, very hard for the past 10 years into entering the markets, we are foreseeing basically the harvesting period for us for the coming years, because we have obviously obtained those approval for us to even just step foot and sell our product.
And then, of course, for the beginning stage, right, for the first product, maybe we will take the longer times to run this kind of registration process. But once we have the experience, right, it's going to be very easy for us to penetrate our second product, third items, or maybe following items. Yeah.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much, Sze Hui and Eric, and I hope that answers your question, Jeremiah. Over to you, Sachi.
Okay. Actually, as you guys were explaining, I actually was just wondering, right? So, this process of registering is for the new products that you are manufacturing internally, but presumably for the items that you are distributing, is your distribution rights only for Malaysia, or do you also have the ability to distribute for other markets?
No, for distribution business, right, is currently at this moment is only limited in Malaysia.
Okay, understand. Then there is this question from David about exclusive distributorship rights. Terence, if you could just help me. Yeah. So
Okay.
so this question. Yeah, sorry, Eric, over to you.
Okay. So basically, for majority of our product is exclusive distribution, and then but except Philips and GE. So even though we are not the exclusive distributor for Philips products and GE products, but GE and Philips, they have plenty of products, so they will not appoint any exclusive distributor. That's the first point. And then second things, even though we are not an exclusive distributor, but they will not appoint another distributor to distribute the same product as we, UMC, distribute.
I see. So in the case of Philips as an example, although you don't actually have an exclusive partnership, it is effectively exclusive because they don't want two people distributing the product and fighting on price, basically.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Actually, the reason for exclusive is actually a practical reason, because all our team members, we have to go through assessment every single year for the product we distribute, and it has to be we have to be assessed for every single year and pass the exam just to be able to distribute one single product. So I guess in practical sense that makes sense, because they wouldn't want to train the same person for the same product twice.
And then this one, to pass the assessment is also one of the requirements from MDA, Medical Devices Authority.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Thank you. And just going back to one of the questions from earlier, Sze Hui, earlier you mentioned that so some of the products that you carry are basically consumables, right? So there is this question from CDIS0601, which is basically asking, like, for the consumable products, how often do you or does the user or the hospital in this case probably need to replenish it?
Yeah. So well, all our manufactured products are basically our main product, prefilled humidifier. It's actually one-time use, and it has to be for the standard products, for the standard size. It's usually for 3 to 7 days, and you have to change it already. And this is one-time use, and also it's because of the hygiene purposes and safety of the patient. So it has to be just one-time use and has to be changed.
And then it's not limited to one-time use. It's actually single patient use.
Correct.
Whether the water you finish or not finish, you have to throw it. When you use on new patient, you have to open another new humidifier.
Okay, understand. Then just going back to questions from the audience with regards to your distribution business. There's a question from Ricardo Milos about how is the company competing against long-established players like Zulig and True One Concept? Because I would imagine in this space the relationship with the brands or the principals actually matter, and UMediC is a relatively newer player. How did you guys get a foothold, and how are you guys competing in this space?
Okay, to answer these questions, to be honest, right, in healthcare industry, I mean, there are always competitions among the competitors, among all the players. So what we need to do is we need to make sure our team can deliver the best service to best after sales service to our customers. This is because we are not only to supply, I mean, the good quality products, but at the same time, we have to make sure our after sales service also up to the qualities that we need to provide to our customers, such as like what I mentioned just now. I mean, we will provide unlimited breakdown call to our customers. And then what we can do is we will respond in 2 hours by phone. And within 48 hours, my service team must be on site and help the patient, help the user to repair the machine. And then if let's say we are unable to settle it on the spot, we will immediately arrange a loaner unit sending to our customer and then to reduce their downtimes. This is what the service that we can provide. Because I mean, in this market, right, user they will prefer to order or to buy anything from the company which they can provide the better after sales service. Because if let's say they buy, no matter what product they buy, if let's say anything happened to the machines, but they call the supplier, but the supplier take longer time to respond or to attend or repair the machines, that means they totally cannot use the machine to treat the patients. So this is the main concern from the end users.
Yeah, I guess in the healthcare space, providing good service is actually very, very important.
Yes.
All right, thanks a lot. All right, maybe Terence, I pass it back to you for a couple of questions.
Okay, sure. Thank you, Sachi. Yeah, there's another question from Ricardo here. I guess he must be a doctor or someone in the medical line. He says, based on my experience during COVID management, quite a number of hospitals have completed the phasing out of old ventilators. No doubt he even has a number of ventilators from UMC. Do you see the ventilator sales as sustainable?
Okay, of course, ventilators is not only used to treat the COVID patients, but as long as, I mean, any patient, they I mean, after the surgery, right, of course, they need the ventilators. And as for COVID, during the COVID-19 pandemic, right, government or even the private hospital, they are only focused in adult COVID patients. And then there are still a lot of opportunity out of adult patients. I mean, a lot of, like at these moments, a lot of governments, hospital, they start to purchase, the ventilator or medical devices for pediatric and neonatal patients. So this is also one of the opportunity for us to sell our ventilators. And then second things, as I mentioned now, even though now we are entered to the endemic stage, right? And then there are a lot of, the new hospitals project, no matter in public or private, is resumed back to normal. And then in order to complete, to open the new buildings, new hospitals, they have to complete to buy all the medical devices to equip in the new hospitals. And then one of the medical devices are ventilators.
Okay, thank you, Eric. And I guess, Ricardo, that also answers your second question on the same topic. Yeah, they answered two questions in one. While we're on this topic, actually, there's another question from Rondi. He's asking, what is the usage or recycling period for the equipments in the medical centers? And do you see that there's like a seasonality for the company where a certain quarter you see more orders and a certain quarter is less orders?
Of course, for this question, right? Okay, for one machine, actually the life cycle will be 5 to 8 years, about that. And then, of course, like what I mentioned, we are mainly focused in critical care area. So when we talk about critical care area, right, it's something like life savings. So when we sell any medical devices to critical care area, right? So the user have to make sure they have enough budget to purchase updated, technology, medical devices to be put in their, the critical care area. So critical care area including ICU, CCU, HDW, OT, all those areas. So even though the machine maybe can, the life cycle can be used up to 8 years, but when the times come, they need to change the machine with the latest technology. They will still apply for the budget and buy it, and then for the old machines, right, they will transfer it to the, the non-critical care, like a normal ward, surgical ward, orthopedic ward, something like that. So in hospital, right, in healthcare industry, right, we can see that every year, in my fields, the last slide I did mention just now, the presentation slide. So every year, right, MOH will, the government, they will allocate a lot of budget to Ministry of Health to buy, the medical devices to all the hospitals annually. Every year they will have the budget. And then if you ask me whether they will have the seasonal, the period, what I can say is, okay, in the first half of calendar years, usually the user, they will apply, they will have the process to apply the budget to buy the machine to top up or to replace their old machines. And then in second half, right, they will start the purchase process, like they open tender, close tender, meeting, and then make the decision, issue PO, and then do the the delivery, TNC, everything. So every year, this process is going to be, like normal. It's it's quite usual for the hospital to buy. And then when talk about private hospital, right? Private hospitals, like I mentioned just now, we have the awarded as a, we are awarded the healthcare tourism country, right? So a lot of tourists from overseas, especially from Indonesia, so they visit Malaysia and then go through the the healthcare process to body checkup, everything, right? So because of these demands, and then private hospital, they will, every year they will allocate a budget to buy the updated, the medical devices to replace or to top up, in order to get, I know, when a lot of patients, right, coming up from overseas, so they have no choice. They have to expand their building, to top up their, the bedded. And then when to top up the bed, right, so they need to equip with a lot of medical devices. So this is where the demand comes from.
Okay, thank you, Eric, for the very comprehensive answer. So just following up on this, there's a question from Ma Jasin asking about whether you have recurring income, or do you enter any long-term recurring contracts, or is it always on a annually you have to tender again?
Oh, okay. So for the recurring income, right, like our manufacturing products, prefilled humidifiers. So as I mentioned, is prefilled humidifier is a single patient use. So when talk about single patient use, that means every month, because no matter the market is good or bad, right? So we're still a lot of people sick, and a lot of patient entering to the hospital. So when patient entering the hospital, whenever they need the oxygen therapy, right, they need to use the humidifier. They have no choice because in the market, right, there are not many options for them to choose. We are the one of them.
Okay.
I think just
All right.
to basically put it in layman terms, right, when it comes to medical device and this recurring income, just to put it in layman terms, when you think about it, the more hospital bed we need, which means the other medical device together with medical consumable will be in the rise. It's basically will count like what Eric mentioned. As soon as the population increase, the number of usage of hospital increase, all the other medical devices, no matter it's patient monitor, ventilators, or humidifier, they would all go hand in hand together on an increase.
And then another thing is that all our medical devices that we supply to hospital, right? They also need to buy the consumable. Take for example, our defibrillator, our AED, right? So whenever they use and they need to use the pad to deliver shock to the patients. After they use the pad, they have to throw. It's also single patient use. When talk about ventilators, they need to have the breathing circuit, the filters, and then a lot of what I call, the consumable they need to use together with our medical devices. So when after we sold our products to user, right? So we will still have the recurring income, especially when they purchase, the medical consumable to use together with our medical devices.
Okay, understood. So it's like if they buy the machine from you, they will also just sekali buy all the consumables from you also.
Right. And then at the same time, right, we also offer, the after sales service, right, the service contract. So for your information, all the medical devices, right, they need to perform the preventive maintenance. So we call it PPM. So every year they need to do twice a year to do to maintain the machines. So we also provide this kind of service contract to the users. So because we are well trained and then we are the qualified the service provider to do the maintenance. So user have to sign the service contract first. This is also one of the recurring income.
Okay, understood. Thank you. And I hope this answers your question, Justin. Right, over to you, Sachin.
Okay, thanks. Maybe just switching gears a bit. We've actually covered quite a bit about the business, the medical space. Maybe I just shift gears to the financial performance of the business. And there is actually this question from CDIS0601 asking about what driver for the bump in earnings in FY21 and whether it's sustainable. And also there's a similar question from Victor further down, asking about what is the driver of the recent growth, the 9-month performance for 2022. I think both these questions are asking the same thing. Where is this growth coming from, and also is the growth sustainable?
Okay, as I think in one of my slides, like I did mention, that actually for this growth, right, is not only for the distribution segment, but together with our manufacturing segments. And then as I mentioned, like for our manufacturing segment, right, our prefilled humidifiers, we can see that actually, there is awareness of increasing, to use the medical disposable item, compared to reusable types. So with this awareness, right, and then just past the COVID-19 pandemic, right, so we can see that more and more hospitals, they already switch from reusable type of consumable to disposable type of consumables. So this will make, we have, a lot of, grow from our revenue.
Just to also share with you all, on our manufacturing segment, why there is so much growth. You can see, because if you look at our upcoming products, we are a company that's focusing on respiratory related product. The reason being is because we want to leverage on our current manufacturing facility. So the most upcoming product that we have completed our R&D, it's the sterile water inhalation bag, and that is to be used with our distribution segment product, ventilators. So as what Eric mentioned just now, you can see there is a synergy between the distribution arm and the manufacturing arm. Our manufacturing arm is supplying these consumable that has to be changed quite in a recurring manner. However, the device would be kind of a more long-term use that will basically support the function of bigger function of healthcare. So if you look at it, also we have other products that are upcoming, which is nebulizer and digital oxygen flow meter, humidifier, humidity sensor, and these are all the products that we are undergoing R&D right now, and we are expecting them to be commercialized in 2023.
Okay. Thanks for that. So I actually just noticed this very interesting question from Elaine Yo. Just to kind of like touch on the topic that we were talking about, right? So I think this actually frames it in a very interesting way, because distribution business, because it's primarily limited to Malaysia, there is basically going to be like a natural limit to the size of your distribution business. But then your manufacturing business, like Sze Hui, like you're pointing out, actually the items that you are distributing, you can sell the consumables for it, and also the manufacturing business can export it into other markets so long as you get the certification. So from an investor's perspective, should we kind of like expect the manufacturing segment to grow faster and also probably become bigger in the long run?
Okay, to answer these questions, right? So of course we will put more focus on this manufacturing, because we want to increase, double up the output, and then by even we will focus on manufacturing, right? But at the same time, doesn't mean that we will stop to expand our distributions, because these two segments is totally different things. Because for manufacturing side, we are more focused on medical consumable items, which will be a recurring income for our companies. And then for medical devices, distributions, right? This is the big market, and then but it will, the sales cycle will take times. So in order to increase the revenue for our distribution segment, right, we will continue to expand our product portfolios. So okay, for your information, in this medical industry, right, hospital, they will every year they will continue purchase medical devices, but of course they will not going to buy the same product in the next years. So that means unless their product is spoiled or whatever, they forced to apply the budget to buy, to get the replacement unit. And then otherwise, they will continue to buy other products. Like just now, one of the questions they said, whether the ventilator is sustainable or not. In this market, they will continue to buy the ventilators, of course. But at the same time, they will still buy other medical devices other than ventilators. So what we need to do in order to continue grow our marketing segments, our distribution segments, is to expand our product portfolio. Every year we need to increase at least one or two items in order to put in our current product portfolios.
I think just to summarize a little bit, the for distribution segment, obviously we are also not stopping our momentum of growth. We will be obviously always looking for opportunity to grow regionally. In terms of manufacturing, you can see that we are already expanding internationally. At the moment, we are exporting to more than 30 over countries, and moving forward, we are going to work harder to get more approvals and product licenses in more different countries in the world. So the expansion will be international for the manufacturing segment more.
Okay, cool. Thanks a lot for the very detailed answer to that question. I'm just mindful of time. I think we'll just ask one more question before we start wrapping up. There is actually this question on dividend policy, maybe just to kind of like round out the set of questions for the different types of investors. Does the company currently have a dividend policy, or does it plan to issue a dividend policy anytime soon?
The company at the moment has no formal dividend payment policy, but obviously we always hope to give to our supporter the policy. So no for now, formal dividend payment policy.
Okay, understand. Focus on growth. All right.
Yes, we basically focus on growth and investment need at the moment. We are really experiencing a really strong demand on both our manufacturing and distribution segment. Hence, to be honest to you, that's why we are all working like very, very tightly for time. Actually, this few months, especially the year end.
Actually, we hope to give to our supporter, but not for now. However, it's subject to the investment need.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe when you grow bigger, our aim, as what Eric always, give us the pressure, no pressure here, to go on our main market in the near future. So basically, this is what we have in mind, and we are working towards that to achieve that goal.
Okay. All right. I think I think when we just look at the performance of the business for the past 2 years, or actually for the past 3-4 years, you can actually see the growth. So I think I understand completely where you guys are coming from. And I think with that, we're actually running a little late. And firstly, I would like to apologize to all the people who've asked questions that unfortunately we cannot get to. We've tried to kind of like go around all the different topics, just we cover all the different aspects of the business. So for those that we didn't get to, I do apologize. We actually have upwards of, I think, 35 questions as we were just running through it earlier. And I think just to start wrapping up, Eric, Sze Hui, I think thank you so much for taking the time to join us tonight, and really appreciate your time, especially during this busy period, like I was mentioning, right? You guys just went for an just IPO'd a little bit over 2 weeks ago, and congratulations on that huge milestone. And I think we all excitedly wait to see where you guys take the business from here. And I think with that, I wish you all, wish everyone a good night. And I guess we can wrap up.
Yeah, so maybe as we wrap up, does Eric or Sze Hui have any closing remarks for the audience tonight?
I think just the general gist, I would like to say that we are expanding vigorously at the moment for both of our manufacturing and distribution segment, and also from the management, there is a lot of goals for us to achieve. So we hope that the growth would basically mirror the UWC growth, the co-founder of our company, and hopefully to be a UWC 2.0 and having the same and who knows, even better growth.
Eagerly looking forward. Yeah, fingers crossed, toes also crossed. Okay.
Thank you.
All right, so let's wrap up. Thank you so much, Eric and Sze Hui, for taking the time. Just closing, we have people saying congratulations. We also have Yelena, who says thank you so much for the generous sharing and insights. Yeah, do continue the discussion on UMediC Group on Stockbit, and we hope to see everyone again soon. Stay safe, take care.
In fact, no, I was actually going to say we hope to see everyone again tomorrow, because actually this is a rare week where on Stockbit we're doing back-to-back. Tomorrow we've got another live stream, so come back for more.
All right. Yeah, you heard that. Tomorrow we have another live stream. So, okay. Thank you so much to Sze Hui and Eric, and I wish everybody good night.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.